Hi everyone, it's another Tuesday Tips and I'm absolutely delighted to be here with you. My name's Amelia Carr, aka Curly Coach, and every week I try and bring you a 5 to 6 minute fast track talk or lesson or tips about singing and the voice. I specialise in musical theatre, I also teach pop, I teach classical and lots of other genres too, but my heartfelt passion and the reason for these Tuesday tips is to get really articulate for those of you singing in musical theatre. It's not that you can't apply these tips to other genres and styles too, you certainly can, but my bias is towards musical theatre when I'm talking. So today we're talking or looking at the tongue. And I guess lots of people get told, oh, your tongue is tight or it sounds tight. That's usually what you'll be told. What does that actually mean? When a singing teacher, vocal coach, or MD is listening to you, and if they say to you, oh, your tongue is tight, it's usually that they might hear a bit of a strained sound in your voice that they're associating perhaps with the tongue. Now, the tongue is a massive ball of muscle. It's absolutely huge. In fact, when you stick your tongue out, which I'm not going to do for you, but poke your tongue out, the bit you see is just a third of your tongue. You see, your tongue is a massive muscle, and this model kind of demonstrates that. Here's your larynx. It's bigger than a normal size larynx. And look how much of a big whopping muscle that is. Frontal view, rear view as well. It's huge, right? Now you don't need to know, and if you look at all the textures and different directions of all the muscular structures of that tongue, and if I quickly try without, oh, quickly isn't going to work, is it? But if I pull this model apart for you, you can even see here, look, all the different directions of muscles, the different layers. Look at all that detail just on the model. It's amazing, isn't it? You don't need to know what each of those muscles are called. If you want to, you can find out. I've got some great resources if you want to ping it a comment in the comment section. You don't need to know what all the muscles of the tongue are and what they do individually. Hopefully your teacher knows that. But what you do need is a flexible and articulate tongue. And that's so that you don't develop any tongue tension, and also for a multitude of other reasons, but usually that's what singers get really worried about. So if you just have a little experiment, stick your tongue out and pop your thumb under your chin. This is just one way. It's not actually my favourite way, but it's one way you can feel the difference. Stick your tongue out and just do happy birthday to you. Put your tongue in your mouth. Happy birthday to you. And now pull your tongue back. So let's say curl your tongue like that, as if you're going to push it down your throat. Happy birthday to you. That's caused some level of tongue tension, and you probably felt the pressure in your thumb changing. So an indication of tongue tension might be if you can feel excessive, remember that word, pressure on your thumb there. And things that you can do is you can sing with your tongue out, like that. You can sing with your tongue between your teeth, humming through the tune. I don't know why I picked Happy Birthday. And get that sound flexible with the tongue out the way. Why do we need to do this? Well, the tongue is a huge muscle, as we already said, and it presses down, you see, on the larynx. When the tongue is back and pressing back, it's pushing down on that larynx. And of course, we need freedom in every element of the mechanism of this larynx, which is producing your awesome sound. So you definitely don't want to be backing your tongue, although sometimes we might use it for effect, for vocal effects. So try backing your tongue and kind of speak like that and think of what sort of character might have that kind of sound. Your sound will sound different to mine. Remember, everybody's voice is different. So the other thing we've got to do is make sure that your tongue can be flexible, that you can not be dependent on making your sound, especially big sounds, by backing your tongue. That's probably going to get you into problems. So if you're somebody who Feels like when you go high, you can feel some tension in your throat. Maybe even you can see it in your jaw as well. Maybe someone's told you you've got tongue tension. Or maybe it's that when you go up, you feel like some kind of strain. Or as you go to approach a high, long, loud note, you feel like there's a bit of a pull in that tongue. Something else that you can do is you can get a tea towel and hold your tongue out here and hold it up there to just loosen off the back of that tongue just to test. And if you feel like that beast of a muscle is really yanking its way in, you probably need to just ask your singing teacher for a few exercises. It's no good just stretching and flexing your tongue. You've got to work the articulators as well. Okay, so you've got to make sure that your teacher is going through lots of different articulation exercises with you to work the different coordinations of that tongue as well. It's no good just doing it in a warm-up. You really need some individual exercises for that, and maybe we'll do that on another Tuesday tips. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the tongue, about what it does, about its place, how big it is, the effect that it has on your larynx, the effect that that can cause in your sound if your tongue is tight. A few things that you can do to help kind of monitor your tongue. Then I would say also a warning that lots of people over worry about their tongue. And a side note, generally I find in practice that if somebody, by practice I mean in my teaching practice, if somebody has a bit of tongue tension, usually something else needs addressing as well. So just make sure that your tongue is working in isolation of your jaw, for example, that they're not dependent on each other to coordinate movement, and make sure that you know how to isolate your tongue from your jaw and your jaw from your tongue. Amongst a few other things, but I'm not going to bore you with that because we're racing into the finish line. It's been an absolute pleasure and honour to be here with you today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you very soon. If you'd like to book a lesson, or if you have any more questions, please do visit my website www.ameliacarvoice.com, where you can book a one-to-one session for an hour or a half hour, or there's a bundle of sessions if you're a professional performer and you've been affected by COVID. Please do pop me an email, ac@ameliacarvoice.com, and I'll be glad to give you a discount code. And if you are a young singer and you would love to get more singing practice in, I have a fantastic singing school that happens every day of the week. All the sessions are online, they're recorded as well, so you can watch them back. And it's absolutely amazing. If you don't believe me, head over to my website, ameliacarvoice.com /memberships, and you can have 7 days for free on me. I'd love to see you there, and I'd love to see you all very soon. Take care. Mwah.